Tesla billionaire Elon Musk has just shocked the world with a hydrogen car that shocks the entire industry. Many alternatives to car propulsion have been tried over the years, such as biofuels, solar, and cooking oil. However, there's a serious and promising alternative yet to be fully explored and used, and that's hydrogen. With Tesla at the forefront of the movement, you can expect nothing less than a spectacle for the automobile industry. Join me today in this video as we explore Elon Musk's all-new hydrogen car that shocks the entire car industry. Let us begin. A hydrogen vehicle is an alternative fuel vehicle that uses hydrogen as its primary source of propulsion. The chemical energy of hydrogen is converted to mechanical energy by either burning hydrogen in an internal combustion engine, which is less common, or reacting hydrogen with oxygen in a fuel cell to electric power motors. This method uses an internal combustion engine. It is different from hydrogen fuel cell vehicles. Simply put, a modified version of the traditional gasoline-powered internal combustion engine. The absence of carbon means that no CO2 is produced, which eliminates the main greenhouse gas emission of a conventional petroleum engine. As hydrogen combustion occurs in nitrogen and oxygen-containing atmosphere, it can produce oxides of nitrogen known as NOx. In this way, the combustion process is much like other high-temperature combustion fuels, such as kerosene, gasoline, diesel, or natural gas. As such, hydrogen combustion engines are not considered zero-emission. Hydrogen fuel cells are generally more in use in comparison to engine combustion, as we are going to see shortly. It shall be used to power the Tesla models H, 2, and O. But how does it work? The hydrogen cells generate electricity using a chemical reaction. Each fuel cell has two electrodes, a negative anode and a positive cathode. The reaction to produce the electricity happens at these electrodes, with an electrolyte carrying electrically charged particles between them and a catalyst to speed up the reactions. Like all EVs, hydrogen cell electric vehicles use electricity to power an electric motor. The only contrast, however, is that they produce the electricity using hydrogen cells rather than drawing electricity from a battery. Elon Musk's views on hydrogen fuel cells have been disparaging. In June 2020, the Tesla CEO called hydrogen fuel cells dumb batteries, and the technology extremely silly. Interestingly, earlier this year, he had reversed his opinion. In an early morning tweet, he announced that after years of skepticism, he will switch Tesla from batteries to hydrogen cells by 2024. As to the reasons for this change of tune, we can only speculate. But frankly speaking, there are plenty of convincing arguments in favor of hydrogen fuel cells, which perhaps Elon Musk did consider and weighed to finally support hydrogen fuel, which we look at later in this video. What will Elon's hydrogen car be like? Musk mentioned that the first vehicle to arrive using the hydrogen fuel cell will fittingly be called the Model H. In terms of size, this model is expected to be somewhere between the Model X and the Model Y, and with a most impressive shape than anything seen in the market today. In typical Musk fashion, the Model H will have groundbreaking features, with the headline capability being Hindenburg mode, derived from the SpaceX technology. This uses onboard hydrogen to provide a rocket-based flaming speed boost, which will reportedly allow the Model H to hit 60 miles per hour in just 1.2 seconds. Aimed at occupant comfort on long journeys, the Model H will be a 5-seater but with a 7-seat option. As for entertainment, the system will also come preloaded with a series of classic movies and documentaries, including Dr. Treller's Very Large Bomb Chain Reaction, Cold Fusion, Fire from Water, and Element 1. The Dyson Sphere program game will also be available for both front and rear passengers. It's expected that in 2025, Model 2 will follow. It will also run on hydrogen, providing an expected 400-mile range in a compact hatchback form. This will reportedly make hydrogen cars affordable, as they are currently even more expensive to buy than EVs, and more expensive to fuel than internal combustion cars. It's not until 2027 that the most pompous member of the new Tesla hydrogen range will make an appearance. It's the Model O. This will be Tesla's hydrogen-powered coupe and will also be known as the Oatster. It will incorporate an upgraded Hindenburg mode capable of accelerating it to 60 miles per hour in just 0.2 seconds. To enable this mode, occupants must be strapped into these specially designed gel-based crash seats, and at least 30 minutes prior to acceleration, consume a custom drug aimed at counteracting the G-force. Alongside the arrival of models H, 2, and O, Tesla's supercharger network will be phased out and replaced by hydrogen fuel pumps called Protium shake stations. These will be available to all hydrogen-powered vehicles from launch if any other manufacturers can be bothered to make them. But the advantages of using hydrogen cells to power these machines are very impressive. More so to those like minds to Tesla CEO Elon Musk, who values green energy as a measure to eradicate the effects of global warming. Hydrogen comes with a number of advantages that make it the best choice for car propulsion when compared with other methods of propulsion. To begin with, it is dense. A modern car battery can store 250 watt-hours of energy for every kilogram of lithium ion. A kilogram of hydrogen, meanwhile, has 33,200 of those watt-hours per kilo. No, that's not a mistake. Yes, hydrogen is more than 100 times as energy dense as lithium-ion batteries. The other important pro of hydrogen cells is that the raw material and the byproducts are both. You will definitely go for hydrogen as it is renewable and readily available. Hydrogen is the most abundant element in the universe, and despite the challenges associated with its extraction from water, it is a uniquely abundant and renewable source of energy, perfectly fitting in with Elon's goals of zero carbon emissions. Hydrogen fuel cells provide an inherently clean source of energy, with no adverse environmental impact during operation, as the byproducts are simply heat and water. Unlike biofuel or hydropower, hydrogen doesn't require large areas of land to produce. To emphasize just how clean this energy source is going to be, the Tesla Model H will use the water output from the fuel cell to provide refreshing drinks for passengers. NASA also has been working on using hydrogen as a resource, with the water produced as a byproduct being used as drinking water for astronauts. The hydrogen fuel cell power units charge extremely rapidly, similar to conventional internal combustion engines or ICE vehicles, and markedly quicker in comparison to regular EVs, including the Tesla hybrid model. In under 5 minutes, recharging can be done. This means that hydrogen-powered vehicles provide the same flexibility as conventional cars. Hydrogen fuel cells do not produce noise pollution at all. They sneak up on you, and they're only noticed when they have already passed by or when approaching and the tires roar on the uneven tarmac. This means that just like electric cars, hydrogen-powered vehicles are much quieter than those that use conventional internal combustion engines. Hydrogen fuel cells offer greater efficiency with regard to usage times. Once charged, a hydrogen vehicle has the same range as those that use fossil fuels, around 300 miles. This is superior to that currently offered by electric vehicles or EVs, which are increasingly being developed with fuel cell power units as range extenders. Hydrogen fuel cells also are not significantly impacted by the outside temperature and do not deteriorate in cold weather, unlike EVs. This advantage is increased further when coupled with the short charging times. Despite the many advantages of hydrogen as a method of vehicle propulsion, it has its own drawbacks. Production, storage, and use of hydrogen will play an important role in driving the further development of this energy to power the automobile industry. However, the high cost of fuel cells and the limited availability of hydrogen vehicle fueling stations are challenges to be confronted by Elon Musk. Although it is the most abundant element in the universe, hydrogen does not exist on its own. Therefore, it has to be extracted from water through electrolysis or separated from carbon-based fossil fuels. Both processes require a significant amount of energy. It is said that this energy can be more than that obtained from the hydrogen itself, as well as being expensive. Also, this extraction requires the use of fossil fuels, which in the absence of CCS undermines the green credentials of hydrogen. Investment is required and the cost of raw materials can't be ignored. These cells need investment so that they become a genuinely viable energy source. So this required the will to invest the time and money into development to improve and mature the technology. Also, precious metals including platinum and iridium are required for catalysts in fuel cells and some types of water electrolysis. This means that the initial cost of fuel cells can be high. Overall cost, hydrogen storage, and infrastructure also can't be ignored. The transport and storage of hydrogen are more complex than that required for fossil fuels. Currently, the cost of a unit of power from hydrogen fuel cells is greater as compared to the other energy sources, including solar panels. Hydrogen is a highly flammable fuel source, so safety concerns also can't be ignored. Hydrogen gas burns in the air at concentrations of 4 to 75%. Tesla will also be investigating powering future vehicles with deuterium and tritium variants of hydrogen, in a strategy Musk is calling the new isotope age. Musk is allegedly counteracting the much-discussed inefficiency of hydrogen by using a new yellow version created from genetically modified lemons. Today, the production of hydrogen-fueled vehicles is limited because people won't buy those vehicles if hydrogen refueling stations are not easily accessible. And companies won't build refueling stations if they don't have customers with hydrogen-fueled vehicles. In the United States, there are about 48 hydrogen vehicle fueling stations, and nearly all are in California. The state of California's Clean Transportation Program includes assistance for establishing publicly accessible hydrogen vehicle fueling stations throughout California to promote a consumer market for zero-emission fuel cell vehicles. But these need to be extended to not only other states within the USA but also the rest of the world. Otherwise, the hope of seeing these Tesla models grow to become acceptable in the world could be a pipe dream. There is no doubt an Elon Musk's hydrogen car would shock the auto industry. Musk has just proved that he is a pro in the car industry, and he will ultimately conquer it. Anyways guys, if you want to see more interesting videos, click the video right above. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications enabled so that you don't miss out on the latest Elon Musk news.